to you because congratulations on your title win last night. How does it feel to be back on top in NXT?
Yeah, a very surreal experience. Obviously, it's been 4.5 years since I was NXT champion. I lost the title to Samoa Joe in one of the most memorable matches in my career. And, obviously a lot has happened over the last 4 years. I feel like a different person since then. I was very much, I feel like a young boy in a sense in that moment. And I feel like last night was kind of the icing on the cake of, a 4-year grind of, traveling all over the world and getting to do what I love. And, then return to NXT, a brand that I feel, very attached to, and, get to reclaim the title. It's a good feeling this morning.
What do you want to achieve from this title run to set it apart from the first? Are you someone that wants to use your name to build the brand more?
I feel like the first run, we were very much in the building process of NXT, and obviously there was a lot of people involved, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, and myself, all trying to work together to build this brand. And I feel like the brand has completely evolved in my time away, and it's a completely different place. And I feel like in this run, I'm really just doing this for myself and, to challenge myself. I feel like the last 11 months I've been in the ring with, some of the best performers in the world. And, at Raw and SmackDown, I became very familiar with the people I was, locking up with every night. And I feel like I was kind of in autopilot mode, cruise control. I knew everyone's movements, knew everyone's nuances, knew how they worked, kind of knew what they were going to do before they'd done it. And, I needed that kind of element of surprise, that element of, the adrenaline rush of, what is this person going to do? How is he going to move? What's his nuances in the ring? And, the only way I could get that was by being in the ring with new guys. And that was, what NXT offered. And it offered me the opportunity to be in the ring with people like Gargano, Ciampa, Riddle, Damian Priest. And, the first time you see me lock up with these guys was, the first time I'd actually locked up. So that adrenaline buzz was back of, oh, this feels new. I've never felt how this guy moves. I've seen how he works, but I've never felt it. And, that's something that I got in NXT. And, I feel like I've learned so much in the last 11 months, kind of taken from all, these guys' experience and, learning how they move, and kind of getting pushed in a different way because all these performers have very different styles. Just going back 2 weeks ago, being in the ring with Timothy Thatcher was, a completely different style than most guys, and a style that I hadn't even kind of used, since my time in Japan or since my time in Europe. So, and getting to kind of, brush up on my skills against these guys, push myself in different ways, has been kind of eye-opening for me and kind of reinvigorating. So hopefully, whoever they put in front of me again, for this championship match at TakeOver, we'll see. But I'm sure I will get pushed to the limits, no doubt.
The character you're playing now, it's a more stripped back, but looking at the Demon and what you did in Japan, you're obviously very creative. Where are you putting that creativity into now?
I feel like there's a time and place for creativity in everything. And I feel like with my runs at Raw and SmackDown, I was kind of guilty of trying to please too many people and not please myself. And my creativity was kind of distributed among different things, but not really focused on myself. And, true creativity only comes from, within your heart and within what you believe in. And I feel like right now, currently, although the character visually is stripped back in the sense of, black gear and, a more minimal entrance, I feel like now my creative energy has been put into my performances in the ring as opposed to, outside of the ring. So I feel like that's really where I have grown in the last 11 months with regards, just going back to pushing myself in different ways, pushing myself in the ring in different ways than I have done before, not relying on, my old tricks or not relying on my old formulas of, what I know will work, but, really trying to push the boundaries of, how I perform, what I do and when I do it. I think that's where my creative energy is right now is, when the bell rings, how am I going to make this as interesting as possible?
Do you feel like you don't want to do the demon again? And when you look back at it, was it presented how you want it to be? Were you satisfied with it?
I feel like the demon was supposed to be a once-off in Tokyo Dome, Japan, and it grew into this completely separate entity that for some time I had control over, and then eventually it just kind of spun out of control, and going back to trying to please too many people and not please myself, I feel like I lost a grip on, what the character was and, what I was utilizing it for. And I feel like the main kind of element that the demon had was the element of surprise, and I feel like we lost that in a sense, and it became more like a crutch for Finn than that element of surprise. So I feel like stepping away from it for a while was is the right thing to do. It's definitely not dead and buried. I feel like there's a time and place for everything, but right now I feel like the demon character is something that would maybe be a step in the wrong direction for what I've done over the last 11 months at NXT. So there will be a time and a place where we get the demon versus Bray Wyatt, where we get the demon versus Braun Strowman, where we get the demon versus Brock Lesnar. But right now I'm interested in defending the NXT Championship, and whoever they put in the ring with me, all my creative energy will be put into the match and not the build up. So I feel like I've gone back to more of a purist mentality of maybe my early days in Japan or my early days in Europe. And I feel like although for some people it might seem like a step backwards, for me it seems like a huge leap forwards. And I always have that other things I can, tricks I have up my sleeve where I can pull out the demon, I can pull out another character that I've been working on. So there's a whole host of things that I can go back to. I think the most important thing in this business is having longevity. I'm 20 years in right now. I'm still coming up with fresh stuff. I'm trying to evolve the character, and I feel like it was maybe getting a little bit repetitive, and to kind of evolve the character for a little while and kind of step in a different direction is what I needed to do to gain some steam again.
Another thing you created was Bullet Club in Japan, and it's had such a massive success worldwide. Is it something you still feel any personal ownership towards, or are you completely distant from it?
Bullet Club's a funny thing because obviously we created that in Japan, and that was a moment in time, and it really represented my personal feelings at the time, in how I was disgruntled with how I was being treated by the office in Japan, and how that bond that I had with Carl Anderson and Tamatonga and Fale, and it wasn't a storyline. That was a real moment in time, and it was real emotions and real feelings. And obviously I was very attached to that. I haven't seen it grow and change and evolve. Obviously what I remember of the Bullet Club is gone, and that was I think 8 years ago, but certainly there is a huge attachment and a huge affinity I have for Bullet Club, and everything it's done and everything it's evolved into. But certainly from a personal level, I feel like it's something that it's like any relationship. You're friends with someone for a while, and maybe you're friends with someone at college, and your college finishes, and you kind of grow apart, and it feels like I've certainly grown apart. Whether that's forever, I don't know. There's certainly an unwritten kind of respect that all the Bullet Club members have among each other. And, myself and AJ have incredible amount of respect for each other. Adam Cole, I consider one of the absolute best in the world. Being in the ring there with him last night was incredible. So I think we're all bonded together silently. Whether that becomes public again in the future or not, I don't know.
Who right now just excites you the most to work with in NXT?
Oh, there's so many people. Obviously, Karrion Kross. I feel so much sympathy for his situation, having gone through an almost identical situation. 3-4 years ago with the Universal Championship. So I feel like that match is something that needs to happen, not only for him to come back and prove himself, but for me to prove myself against him, to say that, well, you were champ, you had to relinquish the championship, you were never beaten. So for me, I need to beat him as much as he needs to beat me to reclaim the championship. So I think that's the match. When he's fit, when he's healthy, that's the match we need to get to.
Thank you so much, Finn.
Thank you, Stephanie.